Hey there, my name is Greg Pennington. I'm the race director for the 16th annual Oilman Texas Triathlon, which will be situated this year at the newly renovated Margaritaville Lake Conroe Resort. We want to make sure that you look over the directions and maps to the race site and to the course. This is a virtual race briefing. This is the first time that we've done that, so it relates to the COVID situation that we have. One other thing is to remember that this is time change weekend. So Sunday morning, then you'll need to set your clocks back 1 hour. It gives us a little bit more daylight in the morning as well. I'm going to go over some of the schedule for you. This coming Saturday is October 31st, and will have our second packet pickup from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Margaritaville Lake Conroe Resort in the Nautical Wheeler conference room. Sunday is our race day schedule. Coming up here, you're going to park at the in the designated area at the front of the Margaritaville Resort. If you're staying at the hotel, you're going to be parking in the spa parking lot, and you just have to realize that you're not going to be able to get out of there until after 12:30 p.m. there. So other than that, please park in one of the alternate lots. And when you park at the front of the resort, you're going to walk your bike to transition area. It's approximately a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile. If you ride your bike, you need to wear your helmet and make sure it's fastened. That's going to start at 5:15 for parking at the front of the resort. 5:30 is when transition area opens. Masks are required to enter transition. We're going to be giving you a mask when you enter transition. You will also have the opportunity to have a temperature scan when you go into transition as well for that. You may have your own mask. You can feel free to wear that, but we will have them there to get into transition. At 6:45, transition area clears for the start. It's a short walk to the swim start, and I'll show you that on the map here shortly. And then at 7 o'clock is the first swimmer in the water, and this is going to be by self-seating. And when we start talking about the swim, I'll talk a little bit more about the self-seating, but that's fastest to slowest swimmer. So we'll have the people that think they're the fastest swimmer get to start out first. And then approximately 2 o'clock, we're looking at having some awards, but basically we'll be putting awards out on the tables for you to come and pick up and take home with you. We won't have an actual awards ceremony this year. There will be post-race refreshments. Again, within some COVID protocol areas for you, basically some grab and go stuff. And there's food for family and friends. You're available for purchase at the resort. We are not encouraging spectators to attend. If, however, some spectators do attend, they need to adhere to proper social distancing and wear masks as appropriate. For body marking, including in your packet, you're going to have temporary tattoos with your race number on it, one for each arm. So we will have a couple of markers there. If you forget your race number tattoo, I would suggest you put that race number tattoo on the night before so that it's not quite so hectic on race morning. Make sure your bike number is on your bike before you enter transition. Then look for your numbered rack on the bike racks. We're not going to be marking ages on the back of the calf, again, due to some COVID social distancing and limiting contact. The transition area is in the spa parking lot. This is it right up here. And the road from La Torreta or Margaritaville Resort Boulevard comes this direction to transition. Again, only competitors with masks on are allowed in the transition area, no exceptions. Again, you're going to rack your bike in the rack matching your race number. You'll have an assigned number location. We're only doing 6 bikes to a rack, again, per COVID protocol suggestions. You need to remember that your wheel goes down on the same side as you see your stickered number on the bike rack. Stage your equipment, leave room for your neighbors. There's only going to be 6 to a rack, so there should be plenty of room for you and your gear. Again, it's a short walk from the transition area around here to the swim start. Maybe a 1/4 mile. You can see it from the transition area over there. You're going to need to wear your mask all the way to the time you get in the water. We're going to have some trash cans down there right before you cross the mat to get in the water to throw your disposable mask away there at that spot right there. Once the transition area is cleared for the race start, no one is allowed back in. So make sure you have your swim gear, including your swim cap and your mask. Transition will open once the last cyclist has exited transition to start their run. This is approximately 12:30 to 12:34 p.m. And we ask that you not ask for exceptions to that. You'll have a timing chip, a disposable timing chip in your race packet. It does not need to be returned, and it must be worn on the outside of your left ankle. Your left ankle, please, for that. Again, we're using disposable chips as another means of limiting contact between volunteers and yourselves as athletes. You need to cross the timing mats for accurate results. There's some spots to find the results after the race. And again, you can take a look at these race instructions online and through some emails to look at those designated places to look at awards and the results. Race number, you're gonna have 3 race numbers in your packet. One is for your helmet, the small number. One is for your bike. It's gonna wrap over or around your tube there. And then one is to wear on the run. Place the bike number we suggest along the top tube. It must be visible to USAT officials. And your race number must be worn on the front during the run and must be visible as you cross the finish line. Remember, no number, no score. There's a total of 16 bathrooms. 16 bathrooms located inside the resort. We'll have about 15 porta-johns located near the transition area. Plus they'll have 6 on the bike and 6 on the run course. All right, let's talk about the swim course. The swim course is 1.2 miles, as you know. First athlete will be in the water at 7 a.m. and leave plenty of time to walk to the swim start. On the self-seated swim, we're gonna have volunteers that will be spaced along here, this section here, with some seated times that are basically under 35 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes, like that. What we're going to do is also have cones placed 6 feet apart along this area right here so you can social distance coming that way. The best way to figure out your swim time is to swim 100 yards, multiply that by 21, and that's going to get you an approximate time frame for that. I wouldn't try to race the fastest 100. I would just do a regular pace that you are thinking about swimming for this event, and plan accordingly for that to get you in that time frame for the seated swim. We need you to wear the swim cap that's provided in your packet, and this race for the 16 years has been wetsuit legal every year, so wetsuits are encouraged. They're not necessary, but they are encouraged. We will not be providing wetsuit strippers due to COVID protocols, so you're going to have to take your wetsuit off yourself. And it's a short run from there to the transition area. The swim exit is a stair exit. We'll have 2 sets of swim stairs there. We're not going to be able to have volunteers to assist you to get out of there. They're all handrails with those stairs. And so you'll just hop right up along those stairs, and then you have about a 50-yard run into transition area from there. There'll be lifeguards, boats, and kayaks in the water. You can use the kayaks and the boats to rest, but you're not allowed to make forward progress with those kayaks and boats. So they'll be stationary if you need to rest for a minute before you keep going. The swim cutoff time is approximately 8:30 to 8:34. It's going to just depend on when the last swimmer gets in the water, again, because this is a seated swim. People who are still in the water are going to be picked up after that point and asked to turn in their timing chip there. All right, so that's the swim course right there. As you can see, you're going to start off from the beach. You're going to swim out to the edge of the canal right here, and you're going to stay basically keeping buoys to your right at all times. There'll be a buoy right here, and you're going to stay inside that, between that and the shore. Head out the canal, and then we have kind of a crazy looking triangle out here. And we're going to have, I believe it is yellow buoys coming out to right here, and then orange buoys all the way back into the finish line. We'll have two huge red turn buoys at each of these turns right here to help you sight right there. And so that is our swim right there. We'll have the two swim stairs that are right there on the edge of the dock there, the bulkhead, and then you'll climb those stairs up and go straight into transition. Your bike in and bike out is at this corner right here of transition, and then this is your swim in and also your run out from the transition area right there. For the bike course, we're going to switch gears and move to the bike course. All right, you're going to walk your bike in and out of the transition area to the dismount line right there in the parking lot. You're going to need to fasten your chin strap. You can get a penalty for that. You're going to ride on the right side of your lane. Stay inside of cones, especially inside the resort itself or on Walden Boulevard. There's no drafting. You're going to pass on the left and never on the right, and you need to complete your pass within 15 seconds. We've actually have a YouTube video from the USAT officials that is online for you to take a look at as well. I encourage you to do that. You need to keep more than 3 bike lengths between yourself and the cyclist in front of you. There's a no pass zone on FM 149. I'll show you where that is. Basically, when you exit Lone Star Parkway on 149 from here to 1097, right here, in both directions is a spot that's a no pass zone. It's a tiny little shoulder, and there's more cars that are in this section. So we're asking you to have a no pass zone right through there. We'll have some signage there alerting you to that again. Major intersections will be monitored by law enforcement. We'll have volunteers at each of the turns as well. You'll have volunteers, you'll have tape arrows, you'll have signs, all of those to help you make your turns, and cones. Leave your helmet on and strapped until your bike is racked. Again, another cause for penalty. You need to properly rack your bike before you start running. We'll have USAT officials on the course. They'll be on some motos out there. Again, they're not going to give you any warnings. They're just going to give you the appropriate penalties. We're going to have 3 water hand-ups located on the course. On your map, right here, number 1 at about mile 16. Second one over here near mile 30. And then your last one over here off 1097 on the return at approximately mile 44. We'll have volunteers that will hand those up to you. They'll be wearing masks and gloves. And again, you can bring everything that you need if you want to, but we will have the water, and we're hoping to have Gatorade there as well for you. We want you to discard your trash at the aid stations and not in the 10 to 15 miles in between those aid stations. You can get penalties for that as well. This is a fairly new section for us on Boas de Arc and Lone Star Bend. We used to come all the way out to Freeport and 105 here. This is a cut through that keeps us off 105 right here. And again, this will be clearly marked for you to connect over to the Lone Star Parkway, the bypass, and getting around the race course right here. We've got a couple sets of tracks. One right up here near Richards. Second one right here at Dacus Johnson, right there. That has usually been a rougher section right there, but they have fixed that, and so it's a lot better for you these days. It's a mixture of smooth asphalt out there until you get up toward Richards and Grimes County. If you've been riding out there at all, you know Grimes County from here all the way to about right here is chip seal, so it's going to be rougher for you out there. So just be aware of that if you haven't been running out there. Anything else on the bike course? All right, let's move to the run.
Oh, is there a dedicated lane for cyclists?
No, there's not a dedicated lane for cyclists except on Walden Road, which is a 4-lane road, and you will have the outside lane to cycle from. I'll pull that back right here. Good question. On Walden Road right here until you get down to Bodark right here, that section both ways, and then on the boulevard is you have a dedicated lane with cones between you and the cars right there. The rest of the time is small shoulders, and I'm talking small, 2 to 4 feet the most, so you're gonna be riding with traffic. Sunday mornings it's usually a lot lighter out there, so you just need to pay attention and being careful when you pass out there. Please be courteous to the motorists, that's for sure. All right, run course, 13.1 miles. It's a 2-loop course, mostly on the golf course, and then within the Del Lago Homeowner Association out here, right there. You're gonna follow the signs and cones. Again, stay to your right. And we have 6 water stations out here, right here. These A's right here are the water stations right there. So there's 6 of them, so you get them 12 times along there, basically 1 every mile. You're gonna have Gatorade, again, and water in cups. They're gonna be placed on the tables for you. You're gonna need to pick those up. Again, this is some COVID protocols that we're using and adhering to for races. So you're gonna pick your own water in cups, and then you're gonna throw the trash away in the trash can at the end of the aid station there. There's no pacing by friends outside the race. No course cutting out there as well. We have trash zones around the aid station. If you'll just hold on to your trash till you get to the next aid station and then dispose of it there. And again, if you're littering outside of that and we see that, either with my staff or the race officials, you can be penalized for that. Make certain your race number is in the front before you cross the finish line. Our run cutoff time is 8.5 hours from the start of the last swimmer. That's approximately 3:54 p.m. there. So you're going to start from transition right here, and then you're going to run around it and then make your way back to Balboa Circle, and then you're going to work your way through the neighborhood, part of the golf course, through the neighborhood, back here, back around these lake villas, and then you're going to run through the water park area. There's a nice new sidewalk through there that gets you around to the back side of the hotel. This used to be a gravel road right here, and now it is freshly asphalt, so that is really nice. That's probably our newest feature for the run course this year, is the wide sidewalk through the water park and this asphalt road right there. You come around the other side, the back side of transition, and then you're going to run this golf course loop. We call it the back 9 loop, back over here. It works its way back to right over here, and then you're across the road past the finish line area to start your second loop. So we'll have a Y right here that says to finish or to second loop right there, and then you'll do your second loop, come back around, come across, and then straight to the finish line right there on the edge of the golf course driving range right here. And that's where post-race will be, and results will be, etc. right out there. Alrighty, at the finish line, you're going to be able to grab a medal off a table, and you're going to be able to grab a water bottle, and then you'll be given a mask to wear that you need to wear when you go back into transition. So in order to get your bike out of transition, you need to be wearing that disposable mask there. So you're getting a mask when you go into transition the first time, a mask at the finish line to get into transition the second time. All right, let me talk about relay teams. Cyclist is going to wait at the bike until the swimmer comes into transition. Cyclist returns, they'll rack the bike, and then the runner can leave transition at that point. Each relay person will have a chip. If you're a 2-person relay, again, each one of you has a chip. We used to pass the baton of the chip in the old days. With the disposable chip, you'll have it there on you. Once the cyclist comes in and finishes, then they need to leave the transition area right there. but their bike needs to stay racked until the transition area is opened again around 12:30, or by us as race management if we decide to open it up a little bit earlier. Again, you're going to have your own disposable chip that you get in your packet. Right out here in the golf course driving range area, we'll have several tents that have some post-race foods. We'll have some fruit, we'll have some pizza, there'll be beer. The beer will be up here, right up there where the Powerhouse Racing tent is, right there. We have a wonderful beer sponsor in Spindle Tap Brewery. They're also providing some coffee for the wonderful volunteers that we want you to thank throughout the day out there as well. And again, there will be spectator food available for purchase throughout the resort. Again, it's Jimmy Buffett theme, one of my favorite. I'm actually wearing the hat that you'll be receiving with your packet when you pick up your packet. Either got it today or on Saturday right there. Post-race food is for athletes only. We will have medical on the premises. We'll have the medical to swim start. There'll be an ambulance. Back in our swim. Right here, we'll have an ambulance set up here with medical personnel. They'll be available all the way through the swim. And then on the backside of transition near the finish area, we will have a medical tent area over there, which is where the ambulance will transition back to as well. We'll also have some medical personnel on the run course in an ATV out there in a golf cart to assist if there's any medical issues as well. If you're letting people know, if you're needing assistance out on the course, especially the bike course, you can't be a moving target. And so if you need some help, and if you tell someone, hey, can you tell someone that I need some help, you can't then continue to keep moving forward, because then we have trouble finding you on the course. And so it's helpful if you just stay put, and our guys will do our best. We ask that you be self-sufficient. You need to know how to change a flat. You need to have your own inner tubes. I would suggest 2 tubes, 2 CO2s, and of course your adapter to make that work. If you've never practiced before, I'd go ahead and spend the money with the CO2 and practice with it, and let the air out of your tire and fill it up with that CO2 and practice with it. There could be some friendly cyclists that are alongside that might help you with your tire, but we'll have 2 bike tech folks out there, but again, they're trying to cover 56 miles out there for you as well. We're going to thank our sponsors. City of Conroe, CVB is our biggest sponsor. Visit Conroe. BMW of the Woodlands is one of our new sponsors. We have Rocket Science Sports, who helps sponsor our giveaway hats right here. Another new sponsor is Remax, Helen Jaramillo there, and they are sponsoring our swim caps. Powerhouse Racing, they will have a spot in the expo that will have supplies for you, bike supplies, some running supplies, etc. in there. If you've got last minute needs on Saturday, they'll have that for you. And again, they're sponsoring the beer tent out there in the post-race area. Bike Minded Guru is out on the bike course, as well as Cantu Wheels will be out there. Again, I mentioned Spindle Tap Brewery. We had our packet pickup at Bike Barn today. Great spot as well. Keurig, Dr. Pepper, and Snapple. Big company is providing some drinks for us as well. And then our printer, Kona Printing. So I think that is our race briefing. Are there any questions, Kathy?
Are you going to do a warm-up swim?
There will be an area for a warm-up swim, yes.
Okay. And what happens if I don't make the bike cutoff time and I'm out on the course? Can I continue?
That will be up to the bike staff that are out there. Normally they're going to be bringing you in. If for some reason you're a mile away and they say ride your bike into transition, you're not going to be eligible to continue, but you can ride your bike into transition. Probably on Walden Road, that would be about the only spot that you might be able to ride in. Otherwise, they're going to ask you to get into one of their vehicles, and they'll take you back to transition, take your chip, and that will be the end of your racing day.
Okay, I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you for attending our virtual race briefing. I hope you have a great race. We're looking to have a great race, and the weather looks outstanding for the weekend. So we look forward to seeing you out there on Sunday morning ready to race.